he's coming tonight, huh?
Keep an eye on
He needs to. How do you know I'm not keeping an eye on him?
Ready, Nancy? All right. I'd like to call the 7 p.m. work session meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Boonstra?
Here.
Mr. Lane?
Here.
Mr. Madigan?
Here.
Mr. Shanley?
Here.
And Mayor Melchiong.
Here. Can you please read the open work session statement?
Goodness gracious,
No problem.
my form is not opening. This regular work session meeting of the Wykoff Township Committee is now in session. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting appears on our annual schedule of meetings. A copy of said annual schedule has been posted on the bulletin board in Memorial Town Hall. A copy has been filed with the municipal clerk and has been posted on our municipal website. A copy has also been emailed to the Record, the Ridgewood News, and the North Jersey Herald News, all newspapers having a general circulation throughout the Township of Wykoff. At least 48 hours prior to this meeting, the agenda thereof was similarly posted, filed, and emailed to said newspapers.
Thank you. Can you confirm vouchers have been reviewed and signed?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, all the vouchers are signed.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to open 10-minute public comment period, 10-minute public comment period, 2 minutes per speaker for public comment on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the Township of Wykoff.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
Mayor Melchiong.
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Please step forward to the microphone if you wish to make a comment.
Seeing and hearing no one, I move to close public comment.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Melchiong.
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Thank you. Matt, whenever you're ready, administrator report.
Thank you. So, with tonight's agenda, So on tonight's agenda, we have several resolutions. The first, coincidentally, this came in before the Star Ledger made their announcement. But earlier this month, the Star Ledger made an announcement that they will no longer be printing a print newspaper as of February, which causes some legal issues with the municipal laws as to where public notices have to be filed. So this resolution, the first resolution, 273, came from the League of Municipalities, asking each municipality to pass it, urging state leaders to modify applicable laws, specifically Title 35, which would then allow for the electronic publication of legal notices, because everything right now has to be printed in a print newspaper. And with the Star Ledger going yesterday, by the way, yesterday they leaves us no newspaper published in New Jersey with statewide circulation. So
Effective.
effective February 5th. Moving on, Resolution 275, we went out to bid for our snow plowing services. 275 authorizes the snow plowing contract. Resolution 276 authorizes contract 24-04, which is our municipal building roof replacement, mentioned at the last meeting. Total contract award will be $443,025. Sorry, I'm sorry.
36.
$476,325.50. It's November, it's time for our budget transfers again, so we have our first budget transfer of the year. That's Resolution 278. Redeeming some tax sale certificates, refunding some escrows. At the last meeting, we awarded 2 affordability assistance grants, one for Unit 21 and one for Unit 33 in Evergreen Court. This will bring us to, I believe, contract closing out our 11th and 12th affordability grant with Christian Health. Resolution 285 is a resolution in support of an initiative paid for through the opioid grant. As you recall, we transfer our opioid grant money to the county, and this will support and allow us to put public access Narcan at all our public access AEDs throughout the municipality, at our fields, our library. It also comes with training funded by the opioid settlements. And we have an ordinance for introduction, which is an ordinance which repeals our current fire prevention code located in chapters 115, 116, and 117, and establishes a new chapter 115, which is all consolidated, and amends our fees to go with it. There are several resolutions, including the Operation Toy Train coming up, the annual menorah lighting, and the Zabriskie House to promote their holiday house tour. We have a public hearing on one ordinance, which is, as you recall, is our amending bond ordinance, moving the allocation of the funds, no new debt, but moving the allocation of the funds in this year's bond ordinance to cover the roof replacement in this building. Just give me 1 second. I have several items for the administrator's report. First and foremost, I want to congratulate Mr. Madigan, Mr. Lane, and Mrs. Bodansky for their successful elections this past Tuesday. The deadline for the official certification by the Board of Elections is November 18th, and that's when we should receive that notification. I also want to thank Nancy, our clerk, and her staff, Anna and Courtney, for making the day run so smoothly. Besides day, week, early voting was for 10 days prior, so our early voting site at the library was very busy. Laura Leonard, our library director, and her staff really need to be commended for their assistance in making sure that everything ran as smoothly as possible. And finally, I want to thank our DPW who were there to help Nancy and Laura whenever it was needed. Whether it was helping set up or take down the sites, delivering materials, or just directing traffic at the library. We really have a great team in Wyckoff, and we have some things that we think we can do better next time. Nancy's already putting a list together of those items so that we can remember for next year. The deadline to apply for the Anchor program is November 30th. Construction on the new restrooms at Memorial Field is ongoing. Been a little slowed down right now due to leaf collection and our staff being devoted towards that. We recently went out to bid for snow plowing services to supplement our DPW. We received one bid from Horizon Landscape. After reviewing the bid, both Joe and I are recommending the award to this contract. That is in the resolutions for this evening. As I mentioned, we received 6 bids for the municipal building roof. The base bid for the shingles was $275,425. And the add alternate for slate shingles was an additional $157,600. Given the favorable pricing on both, we're recommending that the award plus the alternate for the slate be recommended or be awarded. We will once again be hosting the Motor Vehicle Commission's Mobile Customer Service Center on November 21st. Unfortunately, Real ID appointments have already filled up, but there are still appointments available for the other services that are offered at the mobile unit. The contractor is still working on the Birchwood Drive Frederick Court Store extension. We anticipate this work hopefully to be complete very soon. I don't know if any of you have driven by, but some of those trenches they had to put in were very, very deep over there. We are submitting a grant to the Bergen County Historic Trust Fund, seeking funding for some projects at the Zabriskie House. Our grant writer is collaborating closely with Joyce Santamoro from the Zabriskie House trustees to develop the grant application. We met today we're on track to meet the November 22nd submission deadline. Our leaf collection is just about finishing up its first round through the town. We're on District 8. We'll be moving through the zones as usual, going back to District 1, and we keep everyone updated on our website at the progress of where we are. The 2024 tax sale will occur next Thursday, November 21st at 10 a.m. The 2016 annual Toys for Tots Operation Toy Train will once again make its stop in Wyckoff December 14th at 11:05 sharp. Santa will once again visit Wyckoff, escorted by the fire department, on Friday, December 6th, with a rain date of Monday, December 9th. And the annual menorah lighting will be held this year on Sunday, December 29th. That's all I have.
Thank you, Matt.
And there is a
November
closed session
29th.
resolution for this evening.
November 29th. November?
Sorry,
Dece-
December 29th.
December. Oh, yeah.
December
The
29th.
what?
I thought it was November.
No, it's December 29th. Christmas, the first night of Hanukkah is actually Christmas Eve.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was really early. It's really late.
No,
It's really late.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Township committee reports. Tim, you want to start?
Sure, be very quick. The design review board met. They approved the way it'll look for the application for 248 Everett Avenue. They're doing some type of addition, which, they approved the look, and I think you'll get it at the planning board for the next planning board meeting. The only thing I have to report on Ramapo Indian Hills is unfortunately the girls' soccer team got knocked out of the state finals in the semifinals. They lost to Northern Highlands. The boys' soccer team was supposed to play Morris Knolls today, but due to the smoke, that was coming from the wildfires, it was postponed. The other issue is Ramapo football. The boys are playing in the North 1 Group 4 finals against Morris Knolls on Saturday at 12 at Morris Knolls. So good luck to the Ramapo football team, and hopefully they can become the champions of North 1 Group 4, which would then they'd have to play another team from the north before they play the team from the south. So there's possibly 2 more games after that if they win. So, and then the only thing I have to report on the fire department, I want to thank the fire department for sending a truck to help fight the wildfires. So, they went and tried to put some of these fires out, but it's just crazy. We've all smelt the smoke in town, and it's just unfortunate with all the lack of rain that these forest fires are raging across the state. Thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you. Roger?
Okay, first I would like to take a moment to thank the voters of Wyckoff for voting for me and a successful run for the balance of the term, which is 2 years, that was vacated by Scott Fisher. I've been here a year, and it's been a pleasure to work with everybody here and do things to keep Wyckoff the beautiful town that it is. And on that note, we're continuing our leaf pickups. As horrible as the fires are, the fact that it's dry is expediting the leaf pickups. But boy, the rain would certainly be needed, because it's just a terrible situation that's going on. And like Tim said, we had sent one of our vehicles to assist in helping in these taking down these fires. Today I had the pleasure of being with Mayor Pete at the Hackensack Meridian Urgent Care opening, and I would just like to let all the residents know that it's a high-tech, extremely efficient, fabulous place to go. It's literally like going to an emergency room. They have medical staff there that can handle everything. They have X-ray and CAT scan machine there to check if somebody has a fall and they want to see what the condition is. The first time we got a whole bunch of scissors, so I actually helped the mayor cut. About 10, 15 people were cutting, but the point is that it's really a wonderful thing to have here in our community. We did talk about some of the ambulance service and whether or not, as they get higher volumes, if that would impact us. But Hackensack themselves, the Meridian hospital system is gonna pick up some of that slack, so that's a really good thing. So I would encourage anybody, if they don't feel well and they wanna get to some place that they can be treated quickly, that particular facility is really something, and we're very happy and proud to have them here. I'll leave anything with regard to the police department to Mayor Pete.
Thank you, Rod.
Thanks.
Tom?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank Nancy Brown, our clerk, and her team on all the work they put into not only early voting, but all that needed to go into the actual election day. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. We were pleased to have early voting. It came up with many, many challenges, particularly the long lines, which we can discuss in the future further, and how we could maybe improve that with the county. I know you're working on it now. We also want to take the time to say thank you to the residents of Wyckoff on my reelection. So sincere thank you to all the residents. And I also want to congratulate Roger Lane and Mae Badansky. Wyckoff was truly saddened with the passing of Lou the Shoe Rizzo, who just passed away a week and a half ago at age 96. Lou was a vibrant member of Company One, to say the least. Longtime volunteer firefighter, lived in Wyckoff, lived in Mawa, had his shoe store here in town, and he was truly one in a million, and he'll be missed. That's it.
Thank you, Tom. Rudy?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I'd like to begin also by congratulating Tom and Roger and Mae Badansky for their success on Election Day. They ran a difficult, good campaign, positive campaign, and they were rewarded with victory on Election Day. And speaking of elections, I too would like to thank Nancy and her staff, Anna and Courtney. I really want to thank Laura and her staff and the library board for hosting the early voting there. It was difficult at times and crowded. I personally stopped into the library and thanked Laura and asked her to pass it along to her staff. I want to thank the DPW workers as well, who were up early and did all the signage and everything, police and fire departments. And a little shout out to Jamie Sheehan Willis, who was the deputy superintendent of elections in Hackensack. I actually grew up in Wyckoff, and it's nice to know she's never more than a phone call away. She was helpful too. So I really want to, I can't thank everyone enough who worked on the election. For a week is what it amounted to. Well, actually, almost 2 weeks. And it was a success by all means. We had a lot of people come and vote in Wyckoff, many from out of town, and I just can't say enough for everyone who pitched in on that. I appreciate the work by Matt and the Facilities Committee in the efforts they put in for the roof on Town Hall. It worked out well, and I, of all people, are especially appreciative that we're going to replace this roof with a slate roof in what is becoming a historic building in the town. So really, thank you to you folks for working on that and bringing home a really great result. I too want to remember Lou Rizzo, who I've known for many, many, many years on the fire department and just from being a businessman in town. Lou loved Wyckoff. He loved the fire department. He was an integral part of the fire department. Everybody loved Lou, especially at the fire department dances, especially the young women at his age. It's interesting. Chaplain Bill Brock did a great job at Lou's funeral. He really did, with the service, and also remembering an event that Lou was at, and actually I was at, that I'd all forgotten about. It was a terrible afternoon in Wyckoff at the corner of Clinton and Quagganbush. It was a house fire in an old Victorian house, and a resident was trapped on a third floor. And Lou's efforts in trying to retrieve that individual were nothing short of heroic. I remembered it, and I just had to remember him for that. He was fearless, and unfortunately it didn't have a happy outcome, but his efforts were fearless that afternoon on Clinton and Quagganbush. Planning Board meets tomorrow night. As Tim mentioned, the house at the corner of Everett, 248 Everett and Highland will be on for completeness tomorrow night. Board of Health meets Thursday night. The Wyckoff Environmental Commission meets next week on Monday. And under the Environmental Commission, I stopped, I don't know, late last week, one day I was recycling signs, and I was talking to Jim Fieldhouse about the styrofoam collection container that we have, and it was full. So it is really being used. So I really appreciate, and the Environmental Commission appreciates all the efforts we put in getting the styrofoam container, because it was worth the effort and it's being put to good use. And just a reminder that if no one knows, Saturday morning, there is an art fair by the junior commissioners in our library from 1 to 4 p.m. They have an art fair there, and it's promoting their work on the Environmental Commission, and everyone is invited if they can stop in between 1 and 4. If you can't make it, that's fine, but that will be going on between 1 and 4. I will stop in. And one last thing, speaking of 90-some-year-old residents, Jerry Getting, who we all know and love here, wound up in the hospital a week ago. He was in Valley Hospital for a week. He had some health issues, and I'm happy to report he's back home and feeling much better. My neighbor, Jerry. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Rudy. I first want to start, congratulations to Tom, Rudy, on May on their election victory. And then next, I also want to, did I say Roger? Sorry, I looked at you. That's your name, Roger.
I answer to many things.
Sorry,
Yeah, all the time.
sorry about that. Skipping ahead already.
It's all right.
I also
It's all
want
right,
to, I also want to echo the comments and thank Nancy and the clerk's office and Laura and the library for all their hard work, not just on election day, but those 10 days. I know there was a lot going on in those 10 days in town. And also thank all the residents for their patience who were maybe not able to get to the library, or some parking around the fields, and just the residents who live around there, because the traffic was pretty heavy from day to day. And I know if we are able to get early voting again, there'll probably be a few tweaks over then. But thank you again for all your hard work there. I attended the Y Veterans Lunch this past Monday. I think Raj and Rudy and Matt was there, and Dave. And happy Veterans Day, Dave.
Yes, yes.
It was another, once again, a great lunch, packed house, all the veterans there. Our chief, Dave Murphy, received the first annual Robert O'Shea Community Service Award, so it was a great honor by the chief. There was a great keynote speaker. It was a great afternoon at the Y, honoring all the veterans. I attended, Roger mentioned, the grand opening today. It is a great facility over there. It basically is like a mini hospital over there. They pretty much could treat anything except something very, very major. Then they send you off to the hospital. But it's a great facility to have here in Wyckoff. And lastly, I just want to remember Lou Rizzo. Fire department did a great job. Touching ceremony for Lou. He was a true legend in the Wyckoff Fire Department and the whole surrounding areas here in the whole Wyckoff, Wawa, Franklin Lakes area. Lou will greatly be missed, and that is all I have. Dave, Township Attorney Report.
Yes, I want to echo the congratulations to Mr. Madigan, Mr. Lane, and Ms. Bodansky on their campaign and their election and winning, and I look forward to the next year. Congratulations to all three.
Thank you.
Also, I just want to highlight the first resolution here that Matt mentioned. I think it's important, not just because the Star Ledger is not going to print, but it's become pretty archaic the way that we notice. It's not just for township meetings, but zoning meetings, planning board. So I assume it's going to pass here tonight to encourage our legislature to make that change, because it's really overdue, not just because the only paper that is circulating in the town is going out of print, but it really needs to be able to be done in a more modern manner so that people are properly noticed. So I'm glad we're putting that on as our resolution, and we just need to encourage the legislature to pass that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. All right, can I have a motion to enter closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Melchiong.
Yes,
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
thank you.